Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to NetGame. In today's video, we're going to prove to you that Blake Griffin is the key to dethroning the Warriors. Now guys, real quick, before we do get into the countdown, I want to let you guys know that we will be picking one lucky subscriber every month to win a shout out at the start of a video. All you must do to enter is subscribe to our channel, like the video, and comment down below saying I subscribed. Good luck guys. Now without any further ado, let's get straight into the video. There was a time when it looked like Blake Griffin had the chance to legitimately take over the NBA. In just his second season at the age of 22, Blake was named as a member of the second team All-NBA. And with a fellow star Chris Paul igniting what we would instantly call Lob City, it looked like there was no ceiling for Blake's career. Unfortunately though, the Lob City era in Los Angeles never really reached its full potential, and as the years went on, it also seemed like Blake Griffin's career was on a downward spiral. Because just looking at Blake's career so far, the last time he was named a member of any All-NBA team was 4 seasons ago in 2015, when he was just 25. Meanwhile, Blake would spend 2016, 17, and 18 seasons suffering from countless injuries. But the thing is, again, this is a story of redemption, and I've got to say, this is a story of me being very happily surprised, because this season for the Detroit Pistons, Blake Griffin has been shockingly good. This year, Blake has currently played in 73 of the Pistons' 79 games, already making this the most games he's played in a single season since 2014. That alone is very impressive, but what's even more impressive to me is the fact that this has been one of the best seasons we have ever seen from Blake, and the stats / impact on his team he's had this season has come through a drastically different approach to basketball when compared to a young boy. Right now, after his 45-point game last night, the man is averaging 24.9 points per game, the most he's ever averaged in a single season for his entire career. And on top of that, this season Blake is averaging 2.5 threes made per game, and has made 186 threes total. This is just 5 less threes made than Blake has made so far in his 8 seasons before this one. It is because of this 3-point shooting, it is because of this scoring, and it is because of this high basketball IQ, his passing, his leadership, and his versatility that in my opinion makes Blake the most slept on star in the NBA right now, and a player who could seriously change the fate of a contender almost overnight. The thing is though, like I said before, nobody is really talking about what is going to happen to Blake this offseason, because since he was traded to Detroit, Blake has been an ideal teammate, and every single one of Blake's teammates and coaches have said nothing but great things to say about him. I think these two quotes I have really say it all, because in an article with the athletic Andre Drummond talked about a play against the Atlanta Hawks, where the play was originally called for Blake, but well, let's listen to Andre here as he said, quote, "With that play in Atlanta, to touch on that, I've never had someone do that for me before. It was actually a play for him, and he told Reggie to get out and gave it to me. For him to do that just shows the confidence he has in playing. Knowing that he has the confidence in me allows me to give him confidence too. So as you can see in Detroit, away from Chris Paul, Blake has blossomed into a leader, and he's so good at being a leader that his teammate Andre Drummond, an NBA All-Star, felt the need to shout out Blake for giving him so much confidence. Having a leader like that under roster is really something that no stat can measure." With that said, let's look at the second quote here. This one's coming from Dwayne Casey, Blake's coach. Casey has said, quote, "Blake's an all-star. He's an all-pro. I didn't know his basketball IQ was as high as it's unbelievable. He sees things before it happens." From there, Casey would go on to say his mental toughness is like none I've seen. Gary Payton, Kevin Garnett, Dirk Nowitzki, that type of mental toughness is what Blake Griffin is. And sure, I know it is Blake's coach saying this, but when Casey has had a ton of NBA experience, and to say Blake's mental toughness is like none I've seen, I mean, you've got to put a lot of stock into those words. Just watching Detroit Piston games, yes, Blake is a vocal leader like I said, but he's also a complete leader in the way he plays the game. This is a man who has been injured countless times, and that does not matter to him. Despite the fact that he's playing for a fringe playoff team game in and game out, Blake can be seen divvying on the floor, putting his body on the line for his team to have the best chance to win. That's the kind of leader you want on your roster. That's the kind of player you want on a championship caliber team. And that is why I think Blake Griffin might be the key to dethroning the Warriors. Now I know a lot of you are asking yourself, why would Blake Griffin be the key to winning an NBA championship? And to answer that question again, everyone is talking about guys like KD and Kyrie and Anthony Davis, but no one mentioned Blake. When it comes to players who both could realistically be moved and actually have the skill set required to put a contender over the top, because in my opinion, there are several teams that are almost there who do have the resources to trade for Blake and could very well surprise everyone this summer with a blockbuster deal. Let's talk about the Pistons, because at this point, I've made it very clear that everyone in Detroit loves Blake and absolutely does not want him to leave. But the thing is, right now, the Detroit Pistons are currently in the worst place you could possibly be as a basketball franchise. They are in NBA limbo, which means they're an average team that doesn't have the cap space to sign a big free agent, doesn't have the asset to trade for a big name player, and is not going to have a high enough draft pick to select one of the players that are seen as a top prospect in this year's draft. Going even further right now, if we include this season, the Pistons have made the playoffs once in 10 years, which means if Detroit's front office is being realistic, it makes perfect sense for Detroit to look to trade Blake Griffin, while his value is at the highest. It has been since he was around 24 years old. However, if Detroit really does believe in Blake and really does think he's a type of player they can build a contender around, well, they're going to have to wait until next summer to try and do that, because they simply do not have the cap space to sign a big name this year, and they don't have the assets to trade for one. Well, there you guys have it. That was proof that Blake Griffin is the key to dethroning the Warriors. If you did enjoy the video, then make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new. Also, make sure you don't miss out on our monthly shoutout giveaway. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.